Hey yo planty peeps, welcome back to Niche's Plants. For those of you that are visiting my channel for the first time, my name is Kanisha, also known as Niche, and for those of you that know who I am and you have returned, thank you very much, welcome. So today I'm going through plants that I really want, aka my wish list plants for not just 2022 but just generally like plants that I actually want. So for those of you that have been with me for a while, you know that I did my first wish list video in 2020 and then I did another in 2021. A lot of those plants I was able to obtain, whether that's from swaps or just buying or importing. So I will link those videos up. If you've not seen them, then you can watch them and, you know, see what I wanted, see what I've got. Oh, sorry, itchy eye. Oh. What I will do at some point is do a houseplant tour, and you can, and maybe in that video I'll highlight the previous wishlist plants that I now have and how I still feel about them, or if I still consider them like creme de la creme. So anyway, let's get into this video. I wouldn't say I have an extensive list. There might be one or two that you guys have seen before, because I still want them. So let's get into it. So the first plant is the Anthurium dressleri, and sorry about my nails, I'm gonna do them today, so kind of ignore them, but yeah. Is the Anthurium dressleri. I love this plant. I've wanted this plant for quite a while, over a year I'd say now. For me, if you don't already know, I like textures, I like tones. Quite a few of the plants that I have, especially Anthuriums, they've got like an embossed texture to them, and this plant fits with that perfectly. Like if you just look at it, you can see the shimmer, the iridescence there. You've got like the pink sinus with the veins kind of fading out from that pink. You've got the lobes at the top, they actually touch and curve, which I actually really like. And again, you've got them embossed, I say design because, you know, nature is a designer on that leaf. So yeah, it's one that I've wanted for ages. I've not been able to get my hands on it yet. I did get a Bessier, which was kind of close but isn't the thing. So dressleri still on my list here, but beautiful. Second plant I would say is, now this is the Anthurium, yes, another Anthurium. Anthurium, now I'm looking down because I've got the plant's image below me, but it's Anthurium cuneyalense. I hope I've said that correctly, probably not, but hopefully I'm close. Again, tone, texture, you can see the green, you can see that slight shimmer, the iridescence slash bronze, which I assume this plant, once the new leaf comes in, it's got that iridescence, it's got that bronze, and then it goes from the bronze into kind of it's not a lime green, it's more a sage, not really sage green. What kind of green is this? It's a green, and then it darkens. Again, I like the fact that you've got texture throughout the whole leaf, so you've not got ripples, but it's just embossed, and it reminds me a bit of the Regal, because when you watch the veins of a Regal, you can see the sections of each area of the leaf, and this is what that reminds me of. Again, the sinuses is quite, it's subtle, and the lobes at the top, they do touch, and again, it's heart shaped. You know, I like a heart shaped leaf. So this is one I saw and I just thought, ooh, it's striking, it stands out. So this is why I like that one. So the third one I've been wanting since my interest in plants really heightened, and that was the Anthurium crystallinum, red crystallinum, because I've got crystallinum, but Anthurium red crystallinum. It comes in, and obviously with plants, even if you get pups from the same plant, the actual individual plants can change or vary in their appearance. So it could come in on your new leaf as a dark purple, dark red with bright red veins like it, but look at this, like you've got the kind of dark purple, it's more almost a burgundy leaf with rose pink illuminated veins. It's gorgeous, like, and even if you look at the second picture, as it matures, it holds on to that red for quite a while, and I'd hope that when one day I get a red crystallinum, mine is like this. It's, so look how dark the leaf is, like it's almost like a burgundy blue slash black, and the veins, it just reminds me of Spider-Man, like just pop out and strike. It's beautiful. Like if I ever got this plant, I would never sell it, never, because like I said, like I don't know anyone that actually has one. The few people that I follow, not few, but the people that I follow on Instagram, only a few of them have a red crystallinum, and I think there's like 2 in the US that I know of, and the rest are like not that I know them, but they're in Indonesia. I don't actually know anyone in the UK with red crystallinum. If you're in the UK or you know anyone in the UK with red crystallinum, let me know. But this has been an ultimate wishlist plant, like shooting star wishlist plant, like some of you will get that reference, but it's lovely. So yeah, definitely one that I would have, and again, one that if I got, I would never sell. Following up from that, now I know some people love this plant, some people not so much. Some people aren't really into yellow variegation, but for me, it's the Monstera Aurel. Like just that yellow variegation. It comes in on a new leaf, lime green, like you'll see for this first picture. That top leaf, you'll see it on the left, yeah, your left. It looks like a lime green, but it does then, the yellow intensifies as that leaf matures. And I just think even if you look at this picture, like look at that, like almost marbling, like a splash of the variegation, and even the marbling of the green on this leaf. It's beautiful. Like I really, really like this. I wouldn't say I'm one that loves plants with yellow variegation, but this one I saw and it really stood out to me. And they have quite a few in Jamaica. Like do you know what? I went to Jamaica probably about 3, maybe 4 years ago now. I remember driving down Elena Road and this huge Monstera Aurel. And at the time, it was striking, and I was like, wow. But it wasn't like, oh my gosh, because it wasn't really a thing back then in like, well, to my knowledge, in the plant community. And it obviously, as Monsteras do, climbed up this other tree, and these leaves were just hanging off with these aerial roots dropping down. It was so majestic. I wish I took a photo. I was driving, so it wasn't like I tried, but it was blurred. But if I had a photo for you guys, amazing. And actually, by the time you're watching this, I'll be in Jamaica. So I'm hoping I will come across a few others, and maybe I'll be able to get some snaps for you. And maybe depending on how my trip works out and stuff, I might be able to do a little garden tour in Jamaica of my dad's garden and show you what plants there are there, or if I go somewhere and see things, I'll just maybe do like a little Jamaica vlog style plant, like I spy with my little eye sort of things. We'll see. Let me know what you think. So yeah, Monstera Aurel, like if you just look, it's just gorgeous, and I would love to have one. Would love to have one. I wouldn't say I'm a crazy Monstera fan, but there's some that really pop out to me, and this is one of them. So another wish list plant. Following that, as you guys know, the Philodendron Patricia. I love this plant. I did have one. I imported it with my last import with Ecogenera, and life was busy and I left it in its moss, and basically the roots rotted. I came back and I had one leaf, and I tried to propagate it with this one little root that it had, and it basically didn't survive. So I either would love to trade, whether it's a cutting or a small plant, for Patricia, or I think I'll probably most likely have to import another one from Ecogenera, because this has been on my list for ages. And just the fact that the pendant leaf, and it just looks like a little ribbon to me with the little ruffles, and the leaves can obviously grow to like 30 centimeters and bigger, but it's lovely. So yeah, it's one that I've wanted. I didn't tend to it as I should have, and it died. So again, it's still on my list, and hopefully this is one that I'll definitely able to get this year, because I don't see why not, where the others might be a bit more like, gotta do a bit of search and networking, and you know. But yeah, it's beautiful. Again, with the lime green vein down the center. You can't but love it. Like, look at it. It's great. Following that, now hopefully I say this correctly, it's the Hoya Manaloa, I think. Hoya. I'm gonna put the name down below because I cannot remember how to pronounce the name. I can see it, but the pronunciation, I'm like, this I've wanted a little while. I like the variegation. I've got the standard, what's the standard one? Why has my mind gone blank? You know what, 1 second. I'm literally just gonna search for it. So the name is Hoya Mayona Loa, I think. Probably said it wrong, but I'll put the spelling down below. I do have the Carnosa compactor, and I've got a variegated compactor as well. So the ML, Manoa Loa, the ML, which I'll name it, is what I also want. I also want the Jody Silver. Like, it's just, I want to say strange, but intriguing at the same time. Like, you've got that, this is a sage green with that dark green, and it just has that silver kind of shimmer to it. I actually really like it. I only know of one person in the UK to have one, someone I follow on Instagram. I've not seen anybody else with one, so I think it's going to, again, still be a hunt to find one, and when you do, they're like that small. But that would be one that I would really love to have, and that will be kind of my compactor collection, really, or Hoya compactor collection, I should say. Now this plant is, when I first saw it, I was just like, oh, this plant is a dream. This plant is like kind of within the holy grail, like, you know, you see it and the light, it shine, it beacons, and they were like really expensive. Now I know the prices come down a little bit, but you know, they're not cheap. And that's the Monstera oblique Peru. Like, look at it. Like, it looks, people would think, oh, it's really got holes in the leaves like that, and it looks so delicate in its appearance and almost what's the word I'm looking for, prehistoric. Like, you could imagine this in the trees when dinosaurs were around. Like, do you know what I mean? That's how it looks, and it's so delicate. Now I do want one, and if I did, I would literally, the mini terrarium that I've got, it would be in there, just like, it would be the prime central feature, and everything around it would just frame it. This I do want. I am on the hunt for. I did see it on Kaylee Ellen's shop, the rare plant shop, and I missed out. So if anyone sees one, or knows anyone that has a tiny one, or like a cutting off a runner or whatever, or even just a small plant, let me know, please, because I would really love to have this plant. And I think these plants have been plants on my wish list that I've wanted for quite a while, and I just haven't come across them yet. So even when in my last video, when I talked about minimizing my collection, I would still do that, but if I had these plants, I would never sell them. Like, they would just be a staple within my collection, and everything else would kind of shift. But following on from that, now this I didn't know existed until about 6 months ago, and I realized I have things for specifielemvaragatas, which is basically peace lilies, because at one time I had 3. I had like the sensation, the really large one, then I had a medium sized one, which I still have, and I still got the sensation, and then I had the variegated one, which I still have. So I've got 3 peace lilies, and I wouldn't really say that I'm a person who absolutely loves them, but obviously I do, because this one is a specifielemvaragata. Look at it, like, it's gorgeous. And I think with this plant, in looking at a few pictures, that the new leaves come in like you can see a lime green with the variegation, then it fades to cream, which you can see in this photo. Now this one, I love the other one more, but you know, if I could get the plant, it'd be amazing anyway. But this is what I mean when I say I feel like the newer leaf is the lime green, then it fades to cream, which is quite nice anyway. But it's a beauty. If I could get this, I would. Currently this picture I've seen was in Indonesia, so again, it's kind of just doing research to see where things are and if I need to do an import again, which, like I said, I don't really want to spend loads on plants this year. I'd love to be able to trade, if possible, or again, if I sold some of my collection to buy another plant, fine, it kind of balances out. But yeah, I don't want to be spending as much as I spent last year on plants. We won't go into that. Or maybe we will, who knows. But this is beautiful, it's lovely. Again, it could just be in a corner of a room, or I can imagine it in like an entrance hallway. Anyway, it's one that I would like to have. And then following that, the all-time fave, the all-time dream, the all-time wishlist plant, the shooting star wishlist plant is the alocasia frydek, and the true frydek, as the frydek is an alocasia with this shaped leaf that's variegated. What people used to call frydek is actually alocasia mitchellitziana, which I also have, but the variegated version is what I want. I've been wanting for ages. I know they're slowly starting to come into the UK, but they cost a bomb. Like, they cost a lot. Like, I would say even more so than the oblique Peru, like, seriously. So I'm on the hunt for that. Whether I can get a bulb, a little pup, it would be amazing. Again, this is one that I would definitely never ever sell, ever. Like, as soon as I saw it, I wanted it since I started kind of collecting plants. Wouldn't say I'm a collector. I'd say I'm an enthusiast. I'm enthusiastic about plants. I'm a hobbyist. I don't know, a collector, I feel like you need to have a certain level of plants and specific type of plants in your collection, and a certain level of knowledge. But anyway, this is a plant that I want and I'd love. So if anyone's got any connections, let me know. Following that, like, this plant, I think this plant was in my first wishlist plant like 2 years ago, and that is the Philodendron varagata. I don't know why I always say that with an accent. I don't know why I do that. But anyway, again, variegation is yellow. Stems on this plant are orange. Obviously, you've got your green to help the photosynthesis, but you can get it sectorial variegation, marbled variegation, splash variegation. Like, look at this plant, it's beautiful. And I wouldn't expect to find a large, big plant because it would cost the earth, not even going to lie. Like, at one point, I think they were about 500. I was like, sure, I should be able to get it for less than that. I should have bought it at 500, because now, the last I saw, I think it was like 2-leaf cutting was like 4 grand. I was like, okay. So if I could get a little baby plant, like a little, like look at this, it's so cute. Or even like one leaf baby with good variegation, and obviously that's good to see, but as it grows, depending on where the new growth forms and stuff, it can change. So you kind of want, ideally I would want a 2-leaf cutting and a top cutting at that. But you know, if someone's gonna give me just a 1-leaf cutting, I'm gonna try. Or a little baby like this, look at it, so cute. And you can see again on this one, the variegation is kind of a cream. It looks like a pink in the background there, but I guess as the plant matures, it, you know, comes into its own. But yeah, this plant I've wanted for ages. And again, this is definitely what, like this plant, so Philodendron variegata, the Alocasia Friedek, the red crystallinum, the oblique, I would say those are kind of and the Patriciae, the top 5 where I would probably sell the majority of my collection to have those. I'm not even gonna lie. There's some things in my collection which I won't go through all of them that I wouldn't get rid of, but I would say, yeah, I would probably trade the majority of my collection to have those. Like, that's how much I love them and that's how much I want them. So I can't even imagine how I'd feel if I actually had them. So yeah, we can continue to dream and continue to hope. But yeah, if anyone knows anyone that has any or thinking about selling cuttings or whatever, please do let me know in the comments, because you know, sharing is caring. And if there's anything you're looking for, throw it down in the comments. You never know, someone might know someone who's selling, or just have it in mind for reference, or I might see something and be like, actually check this link out or check this group out, because stuff happens on Facebook and IG all the time. So let's help each other out. Finally, I did have this plant, and I took some cuttings from it. It was doing well. Then I was growing the remaining cutting that I had. Then it got a bit of root rot. Then I cut it down. Then it was growing well again. And then I put it in perlite, and it basically rotted and died. And that's my Anthurium ace of spades. I love that plant. And I know, as always, they're a pretty penny. But if I could have or find an ace of spades again, yeah, definitely. Like, it's just, I love really dark leaves, and the leaves are really dark. Again, they're like a deep dark green, almost black, and then you've got the red sinus, which is like, it's a bit lighter at the top, but it then darkens out into the leaf, and it's just beautiful. Again, another plant that looks a bit prehistoric, and I think that's sort of why I like it. But it's lovely, it really is. But yeah, those are my top really want plants, wishlist plants. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's an extensive list. Obviously there's a good amount of plants on there, but some of those plants I've wanted like over the last 2 years, which you would have seen in other videos, so they're not new. But do let me know, as I said before, if there's any plants that you're looking for, throw it down in the comments. Please do subscribe if you like this video, if you like planting content, if you like how-tos or little tours, or even if you've got suggestions on videos that you'd like to see or things that you'd like to know about. I'm no expert, literally a hobbyist who's really enthusiastic about plants, and I like to experiment and do things. So if there's something that I'm doing or something that I might be able to share with you, knowledge, even I think when I did the guide on the El Choco, a lot of people said how helpful that was, which I just thought, just go through it, because I seem to be successful with, well, I am successful with propagating El Choco reds. Let me help other people, and it seemed, you know, it went off well. People really enjoyed it and valued that content. So do let me know if there's things that you would like to see for me to talk about, whatever. And I'm here to service you guys. I want to give you content that you enjoy, so please do subscribe, because it really supports the channel and it allows other people to get to see my videos, which I'd really like to, like, you know, share what I'm doing with a lot more people. I value you guys. Thank you for your time. We'll speak soon. I'm gonna enjoy Jamaica and, you know, show you what I can when I get back. So for now, dare to dream, live to grow, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.